Here we go with another one. So, what I'm going to talk about today, excuse me. What I'm going to speak on today is the young brother, Shedeur Sanders, one of the hottest topics right now. Besides one other topic, but we're going to talk on that topic as well. The young brother, Shedeur Sanders, who is one of Deion Sanders' son, who is a Hall of Fame cornerback. His son, one of his sons that we're speaking on, plays quarterback. He plays the offensive side of the ball. So you have Shedeur Sanders, you have Shedeur Sanders, who's a walk-on to the Buccaneers. I don't think he got drafted, but he was a walk-on who played on the same team. You got Travis Hunter, who was drafted. What was he drafted? 1 or 2? You know, he's another one that played with Shedeur Sanders, coached by Deion Sanders. Played both sides of the ball. Played cornerback and played wide receiver. Okay, so also I heard Travis Hunter, he's going to be playing both positions as well, and he'll be wearing, I think, number 2 when he's playing cornerback and 21 when he's playing wide receiver, something like that. But they're going to they're gonna be switching up his number when he plays different sides of the ball. But anyway, Deion, Shedeur brothers, everybody started with Jackson State, right? Deion becomes a coach in Jackson State, coaches his sons. Shedeur is the quarterback. Travis Hunter, so he takes a school, Jackson State University, that no one talks about, no one knows. I guess unless you go to Jackson State or stay near or in a state where Jackson State is located. They wasn't one of those D1 teams that everyone talks about. But by Deion Sanders being the head coach, that shines a lot of light, a lot of publicity, which come in the fundings, the money, the sponsorships, all that shit. All that shit comes with that shit. So Deion, with his knowledge of the game, because like I said, he's a Hall of Famer, along with his sons, were able to turn that program around, bring a light to the program, and jobs and opportunity for that program. I think he was a coach for like 2 years there. I could be wrong, but I don't think it was a long time. But in his time there, he made a difference. So from there, he had an opportunity to go to Colorado State, the Colorado University, right? Which is a more known team, but no one was talking about him. Especially in the football matter. So opportunity comes for Deion to become the head coach of this football team, right? Like I said, he's brought notoriety, job opportunities, brought up the programming with the winning and this and that. So he didn't leave him in shambles, but he did accept the job at Colorado. And then he also brought his sons and a few other people with him. Travis Hunt, all these people, right, with him. He got a lot of backlash. How you gonna leave uh, uh, this black college, for this white college and all this stuff? But a better opportunity arose for him. So I don't look at him any type of way because he decided to go with his move. And then he gotta do his best for his sons, because you want your sons drafted. What's gonna get your sons drafted better? Playing at Colorado or playing at Jackson State? Just being honest. So his first year at Colorado. Colorado the year before only won one game and lost the rest of the games. So when Deion took over, they won like the first 3 games. The hype around Deion was real. All you seen was the celebrities and this and that. Really turned the program up. You seen Lil Wayne. You seen all these people repping Colorado. All because Deion. Be real. How many black folks really live in Colorado and play for Colorado and their teams? You look at the basketball teams and shit like that. It's white with a sprinkle of black somewhere. We just being real. So he ends up winning 3 games the first season. Right? They come out on fire. But then they have a terrible losing streak. So now the hype went from hoorah because he's winning and making a difference, and you see a difference in the programming already, to the downfall, the I told you so. He wasn't going this, he wasn't going that. But we all seen the video when he first took over. He told that whole football team, hey, y'all might as well look for another team to play for, because I'm bringing in my team. If you feel like you could cut it and make it, it's on you. You're allowed to, quote unquote, try out and see if you'll make it. But he's already made his decision of who he was going to bring, right? So he had that 3-win season, and he said himself, man, we just a couple of dollars away. They just need that O-line. You feel what I'm saying? I think Shedeur was taking a lot of tackles. You feel what I'm saying? The line could protect him enough. And he's not what you call too much of a mobile cornerback. I've seen him move off the pocket and move. But people are not considering him like a Lamar Jackson or a Josh Allen that really is going to scramble. He's going to kind of bounce around in the pocket. And, and I think one of the faults with him was holding on to the ball too long, right? But anyway, comes this year, right? Deion has Travis Hunter, still has his son, Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback. Woo. They make a few changes, a few coaching style changes. O-line, defensive line, they made some changes to where they didn't make, at the end of the year, they didn't make the college football playoffs, the tournament at the end, but they had, I want to say they had a double-digit winning season. I want to say they won like 10 or 11 games. You could look that shit up and see for yourself. But they made such a drastic change and put Colorado on the map and did such a 180 turn in the program and compared to the last season of doing it. So now, Shedeur declares for the draft, right? Now this whole time, everyone, everyone named Mama had Shedeur Sanders as projected as the top 3 pick. No one suggested or thought he would in the first round he wouldn't have got picked, right? So long story short, because Shedeur was getting flack somewhat because of his style, his charisma, his braggadocious behavior. But what do we know his father for being? So people were basically saying, "Hey, you're not your father," this and that. People were kind of down on him for being a person that believed in himself. One interview he had, he basically was like, "Hey, everywhere I went, I've changed the program around. Why would you think I wouldn't come to the NFL and be able to turn that program around?" So here comes draft day, and we all know what it said, that this draft wasn't the best draft for quarterbacks, right? People are drafting from shit other than quarterbacks. It's not a strong draft class for quarterbacks. So you got Shedeur. Everybody's wondering where Shedeur will land. Will he land number 1? Will he land number 2? Will he land number 3? Right? To actual teams that needed a quarterback or a backup quarterback. Right? Little did we know that Shedeur wasn't going to get drafted in the first round, second round, third round, or the fourth round. If you rush NFL, it's not like the NBA draft, right? I think the NBA draft is in one day. The NFL draft goes on for like 3 days. First day is the first round, second day is the second and third round, third day is the fourth and fifth round. And there's 270, 80, 200 some players that get picked and drafted, right? So the first round commences, the first day commences, and long story short, Shedeur doesn't get picked. Now that's a surprise to everyone. No one really knows why. Some people was making shit up, saying, "Hey, he really wasn't all that good. He really shouldn't have been in the first round." That is crazy because the quarterbacks that got picked in front of him can't compare to Shedeur. Besides maybe one other person as a quarterback in that whole class, right? So day 1 comes, he doesn't get picked. Day 2 comes, the second and third round comes, he doesn't get picked. The third day, the fourth round, the 144 pick, this young brother gets picked, right? Now, that shocks everyone that's not in the football locker room because in the front office, because no one's seen that coming. People had their speculations of why, but no one's seen it coming. For someone that was projected to be the third, second, or first pick in that home draft gets drafted at the 144th pick. The Cleveland Browns ended up trading up with the Seahawks to end up getting Shedeur. Now, this is what made it breaking news. people start saying, hey, this wasn't a coincidence. No one has ever dropped this low in the draft in football history. No one has ever been projected to be the first, second, third pick of the draft and ends up in the second to last round on the last day of drafting. So everyone was saying, hey, man, that's the owners. The owners got together and the owners said, hey, we're going to show him. He thinks he's bigger than the program. We don't want Dion making decisions over here and this and that, and you're not your father, and we don't want that whole package deal. But we've known quarterbacks in the past that have not been made that have been braggadocious, confident, and nowhere near as good as him, or projected to be as drafted as high as him, or has that potential level of where he could be in the next 5 to 10 years. So to see that, me personally, is a shame. You know, I don't follow a whole lot of college football, but I did see the hype. I've seen a couple games, and I've seen the hype, and I've seen how Colorado switched their whole program around, even how they switched it around from their first year to their second year of Shedeur Sanders being the head coach, right? So some people like to look at it like, oh, he was drafted, I want to say, the 6th or 7th quarterback in the draft. That doesn't sound as bad when you say it like that. Oh, he was the 6th quarterback drafted. But if you remember what I said, that this was a weak class for quarterbacks, not saying the quarterbacks are weak, but people were going all out for quarterbacks in this draft outside of that first round, right? To only have drafted 6 or 7 quarterbacks for the most part, not even 10 quarterbacks in a couple hundred people that y'all are drafting. But when you look at a top 3 prospect in the draft doesn't get drafted to the 144th pick, when you look at the fact that there's 32 teams and there was 143 other chances to draft him and no one did, that's what made it headlines. That's what made it okay. Some people are saying they want Dion and his bravado around because with drafting Shedeur comes Dion. You feel what I'm saying? They're looking at it like the NFL attacked Dion through his son, which is plausible, right? A lot of other people like to say, "Oh, he didn't give good interviews how we wanted him to, so we didn't draft him," which is one of those things where it's like, I've never seen someone or heard of someone not giving good interviews or not working out at a combine, so you let him fall almost 4 rounds compared to what he was projected to be. So not only are you playing with his role on the team, you're messing up who will draft this man and his contract. You fucking up his money. Being a hunter, I'm pretty sure, and I'm not a GM. I'm not none of that. But I'm pretty sure that the number 2 draft pick in the draft is making more money than the 144th person drafted in the draft. Right now, about him being drafted to the Cleveland Browns, you could look at it like this. You got people like, what is it, Mason Rudolph, the Trubisky, one of them in that motherfucker, right? You got uh, Joe Flacco, who's 40, 41 years old. You got Deshaun Watson, who's hurt, but when he wasn't hurt, he wasn't playing well. So the opportunity is there for him to play. And I've also seen that he's the second highest jersey being sold outside of Travis Hunter, his former teammate, right? Here's another thing. How the hell Travis Hunter gets drafted, right? He gets drafted first. But the person that was passing him the ball is drafted 144th in the fifth round. In the fifth round on the third day. You tell me, I think there's like 6 rounds. So to be drafted the fifth round like that, man, that's a shame. And thinking that you taught someone a lesson, someone that worked his ass off for this is crazy. Because if you look at it, right, he wasn't in the news and the blogs about baby mama drama and females coming up pregnant and he's stealing and DUIs and wrecking this and that and bad grades and on drugs and making his father look bad, all that shit. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. There's people that's been facing charges. People that's been fucking up a little bit and got drafted higher than that. Some people their stock might drop some, but not to that extent. Someone that hasn't stole from anybody because he holds his wrist up and shows his Rolex. People are saying you're not your father, this and that, and you gotta earn this and you ain't earn that. You can't help the fact that you were born to a professional Hall of Fame athlete and got perks on that. That's how people hated on LeBron James' son, Bronny James, right? You got Bronny James getting drafted, and people are saying he shouldn't have been there. He's only there because of his dad. You feel what I'm saying? And he doesn't deserve to be in the NBA. It's people looking at it like that. But at the end of the day, if you look at it, LeBron raised his kids right. His kids came up right. Shedeur Sanders raised his kids right. His kids came up right. Upset that they're out there doing something legal, making the money for their family, opportunity, and they are being humble about it. They don't say that they're supposed to be here. Don't knock them for the opportunity that came to them. You know? Then you have a situation while Shedeur was waiting to get drafted, he's got to tell everyone that's support him and with him and around him, anticipating him being drafted day after day, and he's not being drafted. In the midst of that, you have the Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator. There's a breach in sensitive information that he had in his tablet. His son was able to get out his father's tablet, Shedeur Sanders' number, right? And with that number, gave it to other students at what school was it? Ole Miss? One of them schools, right? And the son could be seen being filmed on camera during the prank call. During the prank call, they pretended to be the Saints general manager and basically had Shedeur with his hopes up, build you up just to crush you because they end up mocking him and saying you're going to have to wait a little longer. In a prank call. And it's being said that Shedeur said, man, he just got that phone. He got that phone a couple days ago, right? He just got that number. There wasn't no person that didn't have the number doing that. He had just got that number right before the draft. Right before the draft. And those students got a hold of that number. So it's another thing that what they tend to do, they try to kick you out your down in your most sensitive moments, man. And he didn't come out bashing no one. They fined the Hawks like $200,000. They fined the defensive coordinator money. I don't think no suspension is going on, but there was some disciplinary actions, and they also went toward the team to discipline them with money because it's like, hey, we shouldn't just discipline him. We got to discipline y'all because it was a breach. Y'all got to be more on top of that because that makes the NFL look worse. It makes the team look worse. But my thing is, and the safety. If people could just get your number, shit, they might fuck around and get you where you stay at. Now you got people pulling up to where you stay at. You know, but they were facing fine. They face fines, and and that's that way just a disciplinary action. But Shedeur was drafted. Shedeur got his opportunity. Now that he has opportunity, now he has to make the best of it. Just because he's drafted a certain round doesn't mean that diminishes his skill level and his knowledge of the sport. It's just a shame they got brought to this. But the Cleveland Browns aren't a bad team. They just don't have a quarterback. They have quarterbacks, but they don't have an it quarterback. They got Deshaun Watson. They paying all this money. They have him all this guaranteed money. Deshaun Watson could retire right now and be good forever. Off the money he got guaranteed. He got damn near all his money guaranteed. That came back, didn't perform right. Now he's dealing with injuries and come back and still don't perform right. So you got someone that you already paid that can't really do for you. Now you gotta go through the draft, hopefully, and develop a quarterback and do it for cheap because you can't go out there and get a expensive ass quarterback because the money you're already paying quarterbacks in your locker room. Hence Deshaun Watson. So it's up to Shedeur Sanders to, hey, this is what I'm going to do. It's up to Shedeur to say, shit, y'all got me fucked up and make a statement. You either make a statement or, shit, be a Colin Kaepernick and just be out the league. Eventually be out the league. Like, nah, this is your chance now. And he's in a situation where he can make a difference. They love you when you win. They hate you when you don't. But he has targets he can go through, and he has a line that can protect him. And you just continue to develop around him. And if he's your guy, You have something. That's why he was projected to be the number 2 overall draft pick. Um, so yeah, y'all like this video, comment, subscribe. What y'all think? Do you think it's fair? How do y'all think about this situation? Do you think it's a race thing? Do you think that's what comes with this sport? Do you think Shedeur got what he deserved? Humbling situation? Do you think he's gonna do well in a situation that happened to him? What do you think? So y'all subscribe to this. Y'all like this. And y'all keep checking this shit out.